Right, everybody. So, had a few questions about why I like to use Gentoo Linux, and it's quite a hard one to answer, guys. My main reason is the emerge command. Let's just have a look at that and see what I'm trying to say by that. So, let's try and emerge links. Don't know why the text is so big on the screen. It's not a bad thing for the video, I suppose. So as you can see, guys, we go to emerge, which is a great fucking apologies about the language, sorry, it's a great way to just get files from the command line. I don't have to go to the internet, I don't have to do nothing. I can just type it in and pull the packages in, which is to do with the portage tree, which we'll go over in another video, guys. But as you can see, we've got these things called use flags. So if I want to emerge a package, guys, I can set these flags to then compile the source code with these features enabled. So I'm able to compile glib with MEIME or the XATTR flags. These are already set in red, even though they're not in the use, they're being pulled in. What I can do, guys, is edit a file, which is here, our portagemake.conf, which is a very powerful file, guys. We've got our flags up here, which tells the Gentoo how many threads of the processor to use. If you've got 10 threads, use 12, whatever, you know. We've got our accept licenses. We can add our video cards in here, our Synaptics touchpads for Xord. But this is one of the main reasons, guys. So if I was to add dbus in here, save the file and exit, and then go to re-emerge that package, and we got the merge ask verbose, which asks us first before pulling in the package. We have now set a use flag to use the dbus. So when Gentoo actually, and as you can see glib here, use now dbus is in red. So when Gentoo goes to compile that package from source, it will now apply those flags to the compiling and add or take them away. So this is one of the main features of why I use Gentoo, guys, because say you're pulling in a desktop or KDE, which is a desktop, or GNOME, you can minus KDE and just pull in GNOME dependencies, which makes your system a lot smaller and quicker. We also have the option on Linux to switch terminals, which is the same computer, but we're just holding the Alt key and flicking between. You can do this on any version of Linux, guys. That ain't really specific to Gentoo at all. We also have the portage tree, which is, it's kind of like a database of all packages or most of the packages that we are going to install on our system or may need to install. Also, guys, is the power of the kernel. Now, obviously Linux is the kernel, but inside here, guys, we can really take configuration of our system. So instead of popping in a Windows CD into any computer in the world and it just working, pretty much besides needing to download a few drivers on Gentoo, we have to compile the kernel from source again. Again, on other versions of Linux, guys, you can recompile or build the kernels, but generally they are built for you and you have some sort of access inside of them and you're able to play around with things. But with Gentoo, guys, we build the kernel for my motherboard, my laptop, my hardware, my whatever. And again, guys, this, if you're using older hardware or something like that, really benefits in the end. It's a great way to use software on an old machine, which can boot up nearly as quick as a modern machine once the compiling has been done. Now, you can also compile on other machines because you don't want to be compiling on a old hardware, guys. It could take a week to compile a kernel. But if you go inside here, guys, these are the type of things that are inside the kernel. Let's just go to one that people will understand. So we've got file systems, ext1, ext2, and for you Windows users, obviously you're going to be looking at things that you're used to. So let's go into the DOS, NTF, write support, blah, 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 blah. So all these things, guys, we compile into the kernel, which makes our system, again, very stable, very fast, very unique. And once you've got that working, guys, again, it's why this version of Linux is so powerful. The forums out there are great for help. There's so many things, and generally, guys, like, I think this is the best way to learn Linux because it is so powerful, and Okay, it's not the most forgiving when you fuck up, but if you take backups, take copies of your hard drives, build in a virtual machine. That's what I'm doing for these video tutorials, guys, because you're not going to break your physical system. Obviously, don't go full ends in and just pop a server onto a machine and run that without knowing what you're doing. It can cause serious problems. But this is a great way to learn Linux, because you build the operating system from the ground up, and then you do what you want, not what the company wants. You've got Red Hat and other companies. Okay, it's open source. You can download the sourceware, but it ain't as open source as you think, because there's no support after that. There's certain features you can't use. Blah 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 blah. But to answer everyone's questions, guys, they're pretty much the main reasons why I use it. There's the kernel power, the make.conf, and the portage tree, and just the way the community is, and it's such a helpful community. It just feels inviting. You either love it or you don't, I suppose. But that's why I love Gentoo Linux, guys. There's a lot more I can go into, but that's the basic answer. But I just thought I'd make that short video to explain why I love Gentoo. We got loads more coming up, guys. Have a nice day, and peace.